Well, here's the next video. Now, I've been drawing this since the 11th of February and it's now the 23rd. I'm worn out. I'm pretty much burnt out at the moment because I've been drawing for about 1.5 hours with Vagabonds of the Western World on, and I need a break. So after I've done this video, my break is I've got to do food. It's not really a break, is it? So I'll show you what I've done now. Yes, I am still working on Phil Lynot's face. And the guitar will have to have the same work. Now, I don't tend to smudge with my fingers. It's a technique that I've taught myself, and as for techniques, I would say that while it's good to be influenced by what you see, frankly, I want to pick up a guitar and play like Jimi Hendrix or Phil Lynott or Jeff Beck or anyone else. I mean, there's so many decent, really high quality guitarists that have been that, well, you could just take your pick. I like a lot of guitar music and heavy rock, blues as well, so I would love to play like Gary Moore, but I don't play the guitar. I wish I did. It was a money issue, just haven't got the money to do it, to buy the equipment. But do I want to replace the person that I want to emulate? Not a chance. And that's the thing. You can be influenced by people. I mean, my love of Thin Lizzy has spurred me to draw this. So you can be influenced by them, but don't copy them. And that's where we've got a lot of things today. People want to be, well, the people who create these boy bands, they want them to be the Beatles. They never will be, because the Beatles were of a time and they created a freedom. That's why they got the screams. Yes, the screams progressed with the Bay City Rollers and the Osmonds and, you know, those kind, but with the Beatles, they were originators. More so than the Stones. But they were influenced by music that was around them, that was coming into the Liverpool docks. Don't be them, be influenced by them. That's the thing with a lot of the groups that are around now. They want the screams, but they won't have the screams that the Beatles had. But this is Thin Lizzy. What I'm trying to get at is that I could show you how I draw. You're seeing how I draw now. But you can't do the same. It's well, you can do the same, but it's not going to get anywhere. Even with this, I'm struggling. You'd think that this kind of work would get attention. It doesn't. And what you end up with is putting this kind of work onto social media and it dies before it's been put on. You can easily get knocked down by people who haven't got your best interests at heart, or just don't bother to do anything. You know, they see another picture and another picture and it's just brilliant one, right, clear off. Right now, this has been, what, 13 days that I've been drawing this. In the 13 days, literally no one has really talked to me online or anything. You know, that I've had the random likes and that's it, from the same people. You can be pigeonholed on social media, and to be honest, I'm of the world where social media certainly wasn't a thing, and I want to go back. To be honest, I mean, even with me putting this on the internet, I liked the world in the 70s. Yeah, I was a child, I was under 10, but I liked that world. And more so than the 80s. But I really liked that world, and we didn't have the internet, and we didn't do that, but we knew. I mean, look at Woodstock. 1969, Yasgur's Farm. 500,000 people descend on Yasgur's Farm through word of mouth. Nothing to do with the internet, just word of mouth. For peace. The idea was to music will create peace, sing songs of peace, and it will be a peaceful world. And I grew up in that world. I started before, just after the hippie era. But I grew up in that world of, it was certainly in the school. It was certainly in the schools to teach children to be peaceful, to be happy. You look at John Lennon, and he said about, he was at school and the teacher asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said he wanted to be happy. And they punished him for it. But if you look at the ugly, ugly things that have been going on in this world just recently, and the things that are being reported, the reprehensible things that are being reported, I'm completely exasperated by it. I wasn't taught that way, thank God. I haven't got that in me. But every person has that ability to switch between good and bad. It's just what they find more alluring. I've just chosen this good side. But am I getting notice for this? Nah. There's something happening over the horizon, but if it happens, brilliant. If it doesn't, well, I don't know what to do. Anyway, I will get onto this, and also, I've got a gadget. Yeah, now, I will show you something with the artwork. Let me just take that off of my hand. This is a jeweler's loop. So, what I can do is put that to the lens and switch it on, and you can see the artwork up close. So I'll show you some more artwork. Let me just get this out of the way. This is a rest for my hand because of the dark. I don't want to get black on the hand and smudge it. So let's just take this out the way and I'll show you the rest of the pictures. So this is the blue book. Again, another blue book, but it's aqua blue. And again, here is Robin Williams. Now, don't ask me how long these things take, because I've written them down and I've saved the hard copies, but I can't remember off the top of my head unless it's been a really difficult one. Now, I drew Westworld because of the onset of AI, which I absolutely loathe. I'm not going to be drawing for 50 plus years, and I'll be damned if anyone takes it away from me with some idiot at a computer. Now, with Ken Dodd, my mum met Ken Dodd and has got his autograph, and she said, well, can you draw Ken Dodd and frame it and put the autograph down here? Yeah. Of course, I've got to pay for the framing, but yeah, I can do it. Just haven't done it yet. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, with Hunchback, Lon Chaney's Silent Hunchback, I want to do all the Universal monsters. Here's Bela Lugosi's Dracula. So I want to do all the Universal monsters, but let me just take this out and I'll show you. Oh, I haven't saved the hard copy of that. Okay, now I want to do all the Universal monsters, but Hunchback is not a monster. It's the people around him. Let me just show you. Okay, so now I can go on here. There we go. So that is close up of the artwork. Oops. See, it's all pencil, and then I move it away, and we'll be going back to that later. So I can't remember how long it took to do, but I guarantee it's all hand drawn. Oh, hold on, there's the dates. There's the dates. And then we get to Bela Lugosi at last, and well, I eventually did Dracula. They're in the plastic sleeve still. Then I did... This is The Raven. Now, The Raven is one of my favourite movies. I love the Roger Corman, Vincent Price movies. This is a brilliant movie. How they took Edgar Allan Poe's short poem and made a comedy, I don't know, but I just like that. That was Rabbit Fur. To be honest, that was harder than doing this. Then I did The Goodies, which is a Christmas card. Tim Brooke Taylor, Graham Garden, Bill Oddie. I grew up with The Goodies. Now, when I did this, when I was saying I was going to do The Goodies, somebody I know said, if you do The Goodies, don't expect to like from me because I don't like them. Well, they haven't liked any other thing, so screw them. I love The Goodies. Slade. I had to have a Slade Christmas card. This is last year. And Saint Noddy had to be drawn. And that was a Christmas card. And then that was another Christmas card with Steptoe and Son. And again, striped shirts are not fun. Then we go to Zorro. Now, the reason I drew Zorro was simply because somebody who is orange doesn't like Mexicans. Can we guess who it is, children? That's exactly why I did it. He doesn't like Mexicans, so I thought I'd draw a Mexican superhero. Mary Pickford, one of the people who started movies with Charlie Chaplin, who I've still got to draw. It's just everyone seems to draw Charlie Chaplin, but I have got to draw him. He's on the cards, I just haven't managed to do it yet. Hedy Lamarr, the person who created Wi-Fi and pretty much what backs up the internet and signal jumping. She was a genius who wasn't seen as a genius, she was seen as a pretty face. I get the gems. And then another more protest picture with, yeah, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This is Slim Pickens, the final scene. And again, this map, this background, is where the difficulty was. I jumped this forward to make it look like it was going into the picture. And then I started drawing some Stanley Kubrick pictures. Bill Hicks. God, I want Bill Hicks back. Just listen to his stand-up. He should be here now. Cancer took him, but I mean, he should be here now. And if people like Robin Williams, Bill Hicks, Richard Pryor, George Carlin were around, certain people in power wouldn't have an easy ride. We need them. Stanley Kubrick. This was a relatively easy one to do. It shocked me by how simple it blocked together. But with me drawing Kubrick, Strangelove, I had to draw Kubrick. Again, that's another Kubrick. I met Keir Duella. I will show you the close-up of that in a moment. I drew The Omen. So I went through all 3 Omen films and a progression to, oh dear, yes I did do that as a protest. And I'll go to Keir Duella and I'll show you a close-up of that. So, here we are, Jeweler's Loop. Move in, there we go. See? This was quite some time it took to do this. The straight lines seem to have a bit of a... they're hard. It doesn't look like much, but this is hard. And then we'll go... there we are, there's the eye. Bruce Springsteen again. The orange blob was complaining about Bruce Springsteen, so I drew him. There is a theme here. There is a theme here, and I intend to do it again and again. Now, I made a bit of a mistake. There are ruckles on this picture, and the reason that there are is the paper was too thin. I drew Carlos Santana. Just take that out. So I drew Carlos Santana because he was a Mexican, but it needs flattening. This is where the problem is. The paper was too thin to hold the colour, and I needed to have colour. So I've got a bit of an issue. I don't know how to flatten it properly. I may have to draw Carlos Santana again. I've ironed it, I've tried everything, but it's this ink that caused that. And I'm not happy about it. Look, there's the back to show it's real. It's 11 days work and it's peeing me off. Another one of Robin. This was for his birthday, so I did Good Morning Vietnam, and then Ozzy died. So I drew Ozzy and Randy. Now I don't normally do this, but with Ozzy, he was with me, his music was with me pretty much all the way through my life. I grew up with Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath were in the charts. I started life when Black Sabbath 4 came out. And it's still got me. It's still hitting me. While I was doing this, which was 12 days, I was drawing this. And in total, both of these were 19 days. Let me just show you. There we go. There you are. There's the artwork. This took a long time, and I wanted to get as real as I could get. Now I was drawing it with Ozzy's music on constantly, and he'd just died. I mean, this was July, August. When I finished this, I broke down. I was breaking down as I was drawing it. I was scared tears were going to fall on the picture. And then, well, I thought, I haven't drawn early Ozzy. So I drew Black Sabbath. And there's Tony, Bill and Geezer, and Ozzy, and the Black Sabbath logo on a cross. And then, to try and break out of it, I drew Lemmy. But it didn't work, because while I was playing Motorhead, Lemmy was friends with Ozzy, so I went back. Now this represents Ozzy's, it doesn't only represent Bark at the Moon, it represents his addictions, because his addictions were a monster. And the bats, he had a bat on this hand here. Kelly's got the same bat. And I wanted to try and copy that bat image and put it on there as a tribute. Whether I did or not is another matter. I think it was closer to this. But it's pretty easy to draw bats. It's just a circle with a couple of lines and a bit of jagged edge. But again, I drew Ozzy, and then I did Caris, and oh boy, this was hard. And it's from, I think, the Mummy's Ghost. Again, another Universal character. I had to go straight on to Christmas, so I redid the Die Hard picture, because it's not Christmas without this scene. And then I did John Lennon. Now I'm doing something heavy with music at the moment, and I'm trying to create a book. John had to be on it. I had to do John, and then I've just finished off Lemmy, which will be in the book eventually. Again, that had to be done. And then we get to Phil Lynott, which I'm working on at the moment. And that's it for the moment. I mean, the fill lineup picture, let's just go into it. This is work in progress. There you go, and there's the hair. Now after that I may end up drawing Little Richard. Okay, I'll go to that. So that's it for now, and I'll show you the progress on this. It is almost finished. I thought that this would be... I do this side and it works, and then this side is more black, so it'll be quicker. But it's this side, and I've got to do the guitar and work on his face. But now I am burnt out. I am ready to just have a bit of a rest. And that's the picture from between the 11th of February to now the 23rd. That's how long it takes, and between that no one really talks. So the next videos I'll show some more with the jeweler's loop, and I will also show some more in-depth pictures as well as doing this. There's not much to do, but there is a lot to do. See ya.